Hello, my name is Maya, and last summer, the summer of 2025, I had the amazing opportunity to participate in one of NAU Studied Abroad programs called NAU in Japan History of Video Games. I am a student at NAU who is dual majoring in immersive media and games and modern languages with an emphasis of Japanese. NAU in Japan History of Video Games is a 2-week-long program where we visited major cities and prefectures in Japan such as Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. In this video, I will go over the key highlights of the program such as where we went, what activities we took part in, and what lessons I learned. We were constantly busy and did a lot, so I'm unable to cover everything in detail and will mostly focus on our immersive media and video game related endeavors. I flew into Haneda Airport in Tokyo a day earlier than the rest of the group because I was traveling from another study abroad program I did in Vietnam. This was my first time flying alone and in another country nonetheless, so I was incredibly nervous. Thankfully, it went smoothly and I landed in Japan safely, checked into a capsule hotel at the airport, and met up with the rest of the group the next day. Then altogether, we made our way to our hotel located in Shinjuku. This was a 45-minute commute by train, and it was my first time using a train system, so it was a little overwhelming, especially since we had to carry our luggage. We checked into our hotel, had a group dinner, and went to bed to prepare for the next day. We jumped into game design related activities immediately on our second day and visited a game company called CyberConnect 2. CyberConnect 2 is known for their video game adaptations of popular anime such as Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They gave us a presentation on what their company does and how it operates, and gave us a small tour of their building. I enjoyed this a lot because it gave insight into how an actual game company operates, something that seems so unattainable as a college student. What I enjoyed specifically about CyberConnect 2's working environment was that they do not encourage working overtime, provide their employees with a wide selection of video games that they can rent out for free to get inspiration from. After that, we had some free time in Akihabara Electric Town. Of course, I had to visit a cat cafe and a manga store. There was also some cool game-specific stores, such as a Square Enix store, where they sold a variety of different Square Enix merchandise. The next day, we went to this art installation called Sony Park, which was in collaboration with many popular artists such as CreepyNuts, Bondi, Baby Monster, and YOASOBI. Though, I believe the most memorable installation was the one dedicated to the Japanese composer Kensuke Ushio. Though an honorable mention is this 3D animation that the Baby Monster installation created through doing a 3D scan of my entire body, of which they then put onto a 3D model that dances. We saw a few other media-related installations around Ginza, but the biggest installation we went to was the next day, called Machine Love, Video Game, AI, and Contemporary Art. Here are a few pieces that stood out to me. After the Machine Love installation, we also took a look at the Team Lab's Borderless installation, which is an amazing installation using lights and colors to create an immersive environment. The next day was one of the things I was most looking forward to, the Ghibli Museum. Here's a short compilation of photos that I took there. Of course, after the Ghibli Museum, we had to take a look at the Tokyo Nintendo store, and then had an amazing Japanese barbecue dinner with some of the best beef I've ever eaten. We took the bullet train or Shinkansen to Kyoto, and while on the train, we got to see an incredible view of Fujisan. The commute by Shinkansen was around 2.5 to 3 hours, while by regular train it would have been around 9 hours. We stayed at a hotel near Nishiki Market in Kyoto, which is a popular market made of narrow alleyways populated by vendors and bustling crowds. The following days, we visited 2 universities, Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto and Osaka Electrocommunication University in Osaka. At Ritsumeikan University, we attended a lecture on game design and were given a tour of their video game archives, of which included old consoles, cartridges, guides, and academic books. At Osaka Electrocommunication University, we were shown the amazing tech they had access to, such as tablets for students to create art on, recording studios for sound design, and a huge mocap studio that is used to turn real-life movements into 3D animations. I especially enjoyed visiting the mocap studio. Next, I will talk about what I believe to be the top highlight of the program, which is the 2-day game jam at Ritsumeikan University, where in groups of 4 we collaborated with other foreign exchange students in creating a game based on the theme Kawaii versus Kawaii. We used the design platform Construct 3, and my team created a Papers, Please-esque game about a player who takes on the role of a front desk receptionist at a hotel where all the customers are kittens. Due to the appearance of imposters in Kitty City, the player has to be careful with who they let in by checking if the customer has a valid ID and is on the list of the day's expected customers. If the player suspects that a customer is an imposter, they press the deny button to carry out an extermination process. We named it Kitty Reception, and I was in charge of the art and assets. This was my first time participating in a game jam, and it made the idea of a game jam, and even just the idea of making a game, less intimidating. It was also really fun to interact and collaborate with the other foreign exchange students. The next notable event we attended was the World Expo 2025 that was held in Osaka. The theme of the expo was Designing Future Society for Our Lives, meaning there was a gathering of 158 countries and territories that attended to show off their technological advancements and what they plan to create for the future. To end the video, here is a compilation of the other places we explored that are not directly related to immersive media and game design, but were still incredibly fun.